Hello, and welcome to today's video. In this episode, we take a look at the heartbreaking story of Megumi Yokota, a 13-year-old Japanese girl who vanished on her way home from school in 1977. Her disappearance soon became part of a larger narrative involving the abduction of Japanese citizens by North Korea, a matter that continues to strain international relations to this day. This video addresses kidnapping and international abductions. Viewer discretion is advised. All individuals, organizations, and nations mentioned are presented based on publicly available information from reliable news outlets, government statements, and advocacy groups. Speculation is noted as such. Factual details are drawn from official sources. Megumi Yokota was born on October 5, 1964, in Niigata, Japan, a coastal city on the country's northwest shore. She lived with her parents, Shigeru and Saki Yokota, and her younger twin brothers. Her family described her as a bright, cheerful girl who enjoyed sports, particularly badminton, and excelled in school. The Yokota household was warm and supportive, with Shigeru working a stable job and Saki caring for the children at home. Megumi's upbringing was typical of many Japanese families in the 1970s. A focus on education, strong community ties, and a safe neighborhood where children could walk to and from school. Megumi had a passion for drawing and was known for her inquisitive nature. Friends remember her as kind and sociable, someone who always wore a bright smile. Her dream was to continue learning foreign languages and possibly travel abroad when she grew older. November 15, 1977. Megumi was attending Yori Junior High School in Niigata. On this particular day, she stayed after classes to practice badminton, a routine she followed regularly. She left the school premises around dusk, heading home on foot. The distance was short, and she usually returned safely, without incident. By the time her parents realized she was running late, concern began to set in. After searching the usual routes and asking neighbors if they had seen Megumi, Shigeru, and Saki contacted local police. A formal search for the missing 13-year-old began soon after. Neighbors, police, and volunteers scoured the neighborhood, nearby parks, and the coastline for any sign of Megumi. Despite their quick response, there were no clues, no eyewitness accounts of her abduction, no belongings left behind, and no evidence of a struggle. The absence of clear leads meant Megumi's case quickly turned cold. Her family, however, never stopped seeking answers. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, sporadic rumors emerged about Japanese citizens possibly kidnapped by North Korean agents. Initially, these reports received minimal, official attention. By the early 2000s, the Japanese government had grown increasingly vocal about the fate of several citizens, including Megumi, who they believed were abducted by North Korea in the 1970s and 1980s. In 2002, North Korean leader Kim Jong-il publicly admitted to the abduction of multiple Japanese nationals for purposes such as training spies in Japanese language and culture. This was a landmark moment that validated many families' suspicions. North Korean officials eventually claimed that Megumi Yokota had died in their country on March 13, 1994, reportedly by suicide. However, the remains they provided to Japanese authorities in 2004 were deemed, through DNA testing, inconsistent or inconclusive. This resulted in further controversy. Megumi's parents, Shigeru and Saki, became prominent figures in the movement to rescue Japanese abductees, founding and joining support organizations. They frequently spoke at rallies, met with Japanese prime ministers, and appeared in documentaries, urging the government and international community to press for more information from North Korea. Megumi's case drew significant media attention worldwide. partly due to the stark image of a young schoolgirl allegedly kidnapped for state purposes. Her story has been covered in multiple documentaries and news segments, highlighting the broader issue of forced disappearances. Despite North Korea's claims that Megumi passed away, her family and many Japanese officials doubt the authenticity of the remains returned. The Yokotas, like other families of abductees, continue to demand verifiable proof. They believe Megumi may still be alive, or that the full truth has yet to emerge. The abduction issue significantly strained relations between Japan and North Korea, complicating diplomatic efforts and economic discussions. Japan has repeatedly called for transparent investigations into all missing citizens, with Megumi's case often highlighted as a prime example of unresolved kidnappings. Megumi's story galvanized public opinion, fueling calls for stronger defense measures and greater government accountability in safeguarding citizens. Many Japanese people continue to hold her memory as a symbol of innocence violated by geopolitics. Various Japanese prime ministers have attempted negotiations with North Korea to uncover more details about abductees, including Megumi Yokota. Progress has been limited, with each development sometimes met by contradictory statements from Pyongyang. More than 4 decades have passed since 13-year-old Megumi Yokota vanished without a trace. Her case, emblematic of a broader abduction program, remains unresolved. Her parents still await definitive answers. Megumi's story is both deeply personal and profoundly political, reminding the world of the enduring pain inflicted when individuals become pawns in international disputes. If there's one takeaway from Megumi's case, it's the power of persistent advocacy. Her parents' unyielding efforts have kept her memory alive and put international pressure on North Korea regarding abductees. Stay informed about missing person cases and human rights concerns in your region and globally. Sharing verified information and supporting advocacy groups can make a difference. Thank you for watching and learning about Megumi Yokota's disappearance. If you found this video helpful or informative, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing for more content on missing persons, cold cases, and international mysteries. By staying engaged, we contribute to a more informed, compassionate global community.